Are we live now?
We are live now. They can hear us. What's up, everybody?
What's up, YouTube? What's up, Twitch? Welcome back to another Challenger stream.
So we got tons of people already fiending in chat right now. Holy.
Ambessa Sig. Oh, maybe. Who knows? We're
Ambessa
gonna have to wait and
Sig.
see.
No.
That's what they're hoping for.
Yeah. We'll see. I think I
That would make
scheduled.
sense given Collins' color combo, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see as I have a tab open for the people who are early with the name of the card. But that will stay up there. Y'all can y'all can try and figure out what you think it is based on its name.
Do we post anything about this?
I'd assume Matt will post about it. I made a post on my personal Twitter that I scheduled with the actual image for 18 minutes from now, so I'll probably start. I'll pull it up here in about 20 minutes. Yeah, the spoilers right here. You can see it. Oh, there's it's flashed the image for a second. I wonder if anyone's going to be able to read it based on that. Me hovering over it. I'll show the spoiler here in like 15 minutes when people actually get in. You know, that's a good call, Jeffrey Zoe. I will say it's not a set card. I think this was given to me based on the fact that it's a very interesting card to theory craft with, and I'm well known for being able to brew. That's the thing that I tried to like avoid the allegations with early. That obviously has not worked as being just the set guy. You know, I made our LeBlanc list that's won the best of LeBlanc at least 3 times. I actually don't know what the best of was in Hartford, but I know our list won the first 3 best of LeBlancs. I don't know if the Hartford one was my hook list or not.
Yeah, you're the set guy.
Yeah, so I'm just permanently the set guy. It's fine.
Forever.
Topped an event
Even
with
F4.
topped an event with Draven, Miracle, top 64 with mid-range Draven. Like,
No. Set guy.
it is a red epic. That's what I will say.
Ooh, it is an epic spoiler. That is
Yes,
true.
it is an epic. Everyone with Wolverine, people wanted a best of Sig. Yeah, unfortunately not. So, it does not cost 4 mana. Yeah. So, talking about this current meta, I guess, while we wait for people to funnel in, even though I'm sure people are kind of tired of it at this point. Cesariel list winning a second time. I do think it is very good. Very annoying. I cannot stand this Pack of Wonders card. Something we were
Didn't he win
talking
like
about.
4 events, they said, or something?
4 events? Is there like some online events that he won or something?
I know he won, what, 2 showdowns? Was it
Yeah,
more
we can click
showdowns
on
than
the
that?
name. The name doesn't even work. No.
Someone was saying he won like 4 events in a row, but maybe they were not, like, maybe they were online or something else.
Yeah. When I played against him, he seemed like a fine player. He made like one mistake that I like could have gotten him on and probably would have won that game, but I don't know if I would have won game 3 anyways. So um, I was just like, yeah, you can take it back. I don't really care. This matchup's unwinnable for me anyways. Not gonna be an asshole.
Sure.
Yeah. He seemed like a good kid. So
Yeah, all the top LeBlancs are hook.
yeah, okay, that makes sense. I can see. Here's another. Exactly my list. Oh, crazy. Literally card for card my list.
Your list.
This list has not changed. I think it's like 1 or 2 cyber grids maybe. Imagine that. But don't worry, guys. I'm the set guy. It's
Sure.
fine. I'm only known for set.
Yep.
Someone's asking you, congrats on winning your skirmish. Could you briefly explain why Draven is favorable against the yellow decks?
Yellow decks have very small token units, and they usually are like conquer-based strategies, like Victor and Rek'Sai, and so they give you lots of combats, and their mites are very low, so you draw lots of cards.
Hmm.
Also, you have Ferris Forerunner.
Yes, Ferris Forerunner is very good against any non-purple deck. Right. I played a skirmish as well, just on my set list, which has not changed
You
since.
got the card in the tab. We can see the name. Oh,
Yeah, I know. That's
it's
that's
fine.
intentional. Yeah, you guys
You
can see
now
the
you
name.
have the name, but you don't know what it does.
Yeah, you don't know what it does. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. I'll have another 14 minutes to wait until I pull it up.
So for the RC, you should be the Ari guy. That's what they said.
Yeah,
That
true.
that Ari's gonna be some bank. That's for
It is
sure.
it is gonna
It's
be
a big
crazy
prize.
money, I'm sure. So we got some time until the RCs come around, so this looks like a pretty standard early list. I'm surprised every time I see two Guardian Angel. Am I just like crazy? Is that just not like, I mean, maybe this deck just isn't losing the Aurelia to combat anymore, but as a deck that does exclusively combat, every time I see two Guardian Angel, I'm just like, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll do a card. We'll do it in 8 minutes. I think at 5:15 that'll be enough time for
Yeah,
people to
we're just
funnel in.
covering the deck list for the showdown real quick. Just kind of
Yeah.
talking. I know a lot of people probably have set three fatigue by now. Maybe you got it is a good format, so I wouldn't blame you guys if you're still enjoying the format.
Hmm.
But like, especially those of us who have been grinding it for, the last 3 months, like with only a few days left of spoilers, we're definitely ready to jump into set four.
I call him the set guy. Yep. Unfortunately, I'm just calling the set guy. That's fine. Yep. You know the slot, you know the name, but none of y'all know what it does, other than it's a red epic. It is the red epic of the set, so I spoiled that one. I'm in 2GA ones on it. Yeah, this guy was only on 2GA. I don't know. I guess it kind of makes sense that like Aurelia is just getting bounced more often than not these days. So like seeing the 3-2 split with three Boots of Swiftness is just crazy to me. But it's probably just like an adaptation to the meta. It's part of why Aurelia is not even like that bad of a matchup for me on set anymore. How do you feel about Zed right now? You're disappointed by it? I think Zed's cool. I don't think Zed's bad at all. I think he's probably second best legend in the set if I had to guess. Maybe even the best. Why did they give you a red card? You only play set? Just because they thought it was like an interesting card to brew with. And at least Riot understands that I'm more than just the set guy, even though nobody else does. They're the only ones who
Not
truly
even me.
understand me. Yeah. Can't even trust my own teammates. Yeah, exactly. So, um, but yeah, outside of that, nothing crazy. I am surprised that Victor keeps doing as well as it does. Um, I feel like this deck isn't that strong, but I guess the advent of sprite fountains has helped a little bit, and there just are a lot of decks that you just auto win. If you play against
Yep.
a Diana or something, that's probably super good for you.
Yeah, call the week into Diana. Solid.
Why
Plus
did
you
they
got Vela.
play? I
Nonsense.
played Draven for 2 tournaments, and I top 64 at one and got top 4 at one. Ah,
Yes. He
people
did
just have
play he
so
has
much.
played red decks.
Yeah, people have so much recency bias, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Nobody remembers Aurora. Yeah, I get it, but
Yeah, exactly. You're in a similar boat. You're just a volley bear guy now.
I'm just the polar bear guy.
Yeah,
Literally got I had some guy like multiple people come up to me at Hartford be like, "Are you the Volabear guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess
yeah,
that's me now."
yeah. I suppose it works. Well, I will say, as my wait, what time is it? We have another 5 minutes until I show it off, and I continue teasing our chat. It probably works best for Zed and Akali, maybe, is this another spot I'm thinking about. This card maybe is playable in. So it's definitely supposed to be a Zed card. Say that 100%. Um, yeah, I'd say that top pretty standard.
What was
Um,
Ali doing with Sivir this time? Was he on Baron nonsense again,
yeah, I think
or
he's still
yeah,
doing
he
the
was still
Baron
on
stuff.
Baron.
I'm honestly
Okay.
surprised that they're doing this with only. I feel like is MF not just better with Baron? I don't know. You're the
Seems
Aurora
like it.
guy.
Yeah, to me it seems like it is. I do think like obviously the gold can be helpful, especially into like acceptable losses, but
Hmm.
I do feel like having to run boots to give the Baron ganking seems less sufficient than
I mean, we also only just
just
run
having it.
one, like one of those one
Yeah,
last rights kind of makes sense because I feel like it is very difficult to kill three Baron, two Elder. But
yeah.
then We have a Harrowing, I guess, is a Reviver. Maybe we have access to the 2-mana Revive. Interesting. Oh, he's on 3 Ride the Wind. Jesus.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of mobility then. Yeah, we got to run all this, but that's the thing. We have to run like 4 cards for mobility when we could just have mobility.
Yeah, they only, like, we aren't even playing.
But it's good like for the defending shenanigans too. Like your opponent tries to take one of the other 3, and you just
I genuinely have no idea
do
why
the
we're
ride
silver.
thing.
This looks just strictly better as MF. Because we aren't even playing the treasure troves anymore.
Oh yeah, we're not even on
So,
Trove, so like
what
yeah, I
what
don't even
is
know
what is our
how often we're
legend
getting
do?
the gold here.
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely can't be because of this champ.
yeah.
Yeah, not sure.
I don't know. I'd have to ask him about it. Maybe it's just one of those where like they are very similar. So I mean, I don't think it's going to be huge either way, but it does make it so you don't necessarily have to play as many copies of Red the Winds. Bullet
Right, because
time's not
every
a bad
ride will
card.
just refund its power cost.
Yes. Oh, we have this good-looking gentleman, Daniel, winning the event
Oh
on
yeah.
RA functionally. Good for him.
Yep. If you
He's
guys
on
don't know,
3.
Daniel did do an Ari guide a while back, and he never actually ended up playing Ari in an event, but he had tested it a lot, and he finally did decide to take it to the event to try to get the plated card, and sure enough, he won the plated card. So
Yeah.
yeah, like Colin said, I mean that's the I don't know if you guys have kept up with what Ari plateds are going for right now, but he basically like made more than winning the events, or as
Yeah.
much as winning the events. So.
Pretty much, yeah. So that was the joke, is winning the event. I was getting the RA plated, so. Is Ezreal best deck of the format? I mean, Ezreal has like some very bad matchups that this guy has somehow dodged. Namely being the actual best deck of the format, being Yi, but I guess the only one that existed was this one down here. I think Ruin Runner just always kind of cooks you, playing the Ezreal deck, and then this deck also can just get like kind of infinite value with Scuttle Crabs and stuff that the deck doesn't have a ton of answers for, so I think that's been able, like, this guy's just gotten some god brackets and been able to avoid Yi, but I do think it's one of those decks that can just kind of beat up on pretty much everything else. It's got a lot of 100-0 and 0-100 matchups. I'm sure the mono Baron deck would also absolutely roll them, but 7K and E if you're plated. Maybe we should be going to the EU and buying a bunch. I guess we'll be in Barcelona here soon, so. These are not actual best ofs, they're just normal plated, so.
Yeah, it's not best ofs. Like they're doing it. There's this thing called the Showdown series. They did an article for it on the Riftbound site where basically now Riot is providing these third-party events, like Charlie's or like Pro Play Games, with extra pricing from Riot. And rather than getting best ofs like the actual best ofs you get at RQs, if you get a best of in a legend, then you get the plated version of it. Just one per legend, but yeah,
Yeah.
just some extra pricing now that these events are getting, which is cool.
515. People want the Swale bad.
Someone asked if they could take a look at the Rek'Sai.
The Rek'Sai? Sure. We can do that, and then I'll show up
Was that
the
13th?
spoiler. Yeah, I've seen Rek'Sai doing particularly well lately. I think all the lists are pretty much the same. They're just on. Yeah, see,
Straight into Diana.
not really like Soaring Scout personally, but yeah, you just
Yeah, me either.
play hyper aggro. You get with like a few removal spells. This is pretty standard, I'd say.
Like 12 two drops.
Yeah, I've seen some lists playing even more potentially. I don't remember the other 2-drop that they typically play.
They are never missing a turn one.
Yeah, I mean, it still happens with only 12, but yeah.
Oh
This is
god, I'd be so
standard.
sick.
Yes. What do you guys think of Vex right now? Yeah, Vex is kind of falling off a cliff. That deck's just so bad going second. It's like really, really tough. This guy's list is weird. Last time
Yes,
for
holding
best
is
of
hard.
Rek'Sai after
Holding
missing
is very
2-drop
hard in this game.
with 15 in deck. Yeah, that's tough. Um, there's definitely a few things that are in there, but yeah, when it comes down to like a lot of these best ofs and stuff, you just gotta don't be too obsessed with each list. Everyone has their own unique stuff on it, their unique takes. So
Especially with Diana in the format, I feel like holding is so much harder right now because they just have like the Moonfall just breaks holds so easily.
Yeah. Green and color should rip through the control edge of a matchup. Something we combat to do anything. Yeah, pretty much. I think this deck is like, if it's one that you're afraid of, literally you just need access to like Camel or Baron. I think both are enough to take it down. So, but yeah, I guess we can move to my spoiler
Yep.
as
You
a
ready? Drum roll.
drum roll.
Du-du-du-du-du-du.
Yeah. Boom. Here's my spoiler,
Endless
guys.
riches.
Yeah, endless riches. So it's a 5 and a power for a gear. A little bit expensive, but extremely unique effects. When you play it, you banish your hand in trash and burn 7. So for those who don't know, that's just milling the top 7 of your deck. You skip your draw phase, but you can also just play all cards from trash. And if card would go to your trash from anywhere other than your main deck, then you banish it instead. So this is just kind of like a way, if once you get to a point in the game where you're empty-handed, if you need to refill and have access to a bunch of other cards, then you can it can kind of give you another hand as like a 5 mana draw 7. That also can combo with some of the other cards that we've seen, such as Zed's signature spell, which is like another burn 3 that you can play from trash. So you can burn 7, then you can burn another 3, and that's 3 more cards that you end up functionally drawing that are functionally in your hand. Additionally, it works super well with Zed's legend ability because his thing is discard 1, then draw 1. So you can still, while you don't draw cards during your draw phase, you can still draw cards using legend ability or like traveling merchants and stuff like that, to make sure that you still have some amount of cards in hand in the worst case that this gets blown up at some point. So, um,
Yes, it's kind of like bad Underworld Breach, guys.
yeah, definitely a more fixed Underworld Breach, one that is definitely not
Yeah.
nearly as broken. So, not the most broken card, but I do think it has its places. Um, I think for me, especially, obviously, its biggest downside is that if it gets destroyed, then you're kind of SOL. But I think if you play this out of like a Collier Zed, potentially out of a sideboard into some of the more grindy matchups, they're going to be boarding out their gear hate, obviously, because neither of those decks play gear. So they might as well board it out, and then you can board in an endless riches or two, and now you just have a 5 energy draw 7 whenever you need it. Yeah, official Jinx support as well. That is noted because you still get to draw cards off of the Jinx Legend ability. So, um, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think
it's a
it's
cool card.
yeah,
Don't know if it's good, but it's cool. And
yeah,
it's probably going to be good somewhere at some point.
yeah. I think
Seems
that's
like a
kind of
card that you could break, right?
my take as well, right? Yeah, it has some of the like the good text to prevent it from being crazy. Like the if it would go to your trash mini rather than the main deck, then you banish it. But that's why it works with like other burn cards. Is kind of what we're trying to do it with. So I definitely think it's most intended for Zed, uh, putting it into a spot if you're just looking for something to like. Well, you play this and then you play the Zed signature. You burn 3 more. Now your Rosses are starting to cost pretty cheap. Um, I don't know if they've spoiled too many other burn cards that we're playing out of that deck, but you get to activate like a traveling merchant or Zed ability, to draw your cards so that the banishing your hand isn't as big of a deal. And yeah. Unfortunately, if anything gets discarded or dies, otherwise it getting banished is definitely tough. I saw somebody asking about burnout, and yeah, it could be kind of bad with burnout if you get to that point. I'd say it's not super likely in Riftbound games that even with like a draw 7 like this is and other burn stuff that we would deck out, right? So
Yeah.
yeah. What happens if you don't get anything off burn 7? I mean, it's not like we're playing Magic where you just don't have where you have
Yeah,
like
you're not
lands
burning
or
7
something.
lands. Yeah.
Yes. If you don't have like you can't draw 7 cards in your deck and have that be good, then like
Yeah.
your deck's just
I don't
bad.
know what your deck's doing anyway. Like, what were you going to do for the next 7 turns? Like, you were just going to draw bricks the whole time?
Yeah, exactly. So at that point is you were gonna lose anyways. Um, so an infinite we can do with Echo and red blue with this. I don't think so. Maybe with some sort of weird mill shenanigans, you could make something happen. If there was like is there like a burn spell of some sort? Well, I guess when you play a spell, it wouldn't work, right? So I don't think there's any way you can go infinite. You could go like maybe pseudo infinite, but or just like accomplish a lot in one turn. Rosso also gets Spanish Shift 9 though. Yeah, I think this is definitely a card that you can't just play it early. Like this has to be one of your finishers for sure. Um
Yeah.
yeah, so this may just prevent Echo from recycling himself. Yeah, actually I don't know about how that works. Let's see how Echo reads. Piltover Archive's been unfortunately a little bit laggy.
Yeah.
Uh, Death now
Keep the
recycle
brewing
me
set
to
for.
ready runes. So I think it might not work with Echo. Yeah, that is true. That's one thing I see a lot of people worried about is like, oh, burnout's a thing, and it's like I don't know if I've ever seen somebody naturally burn out, and even if you do, it's not like you lose the game. They just get a point. So
Yeah. Unless you're at 7.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Can you use this on your opponent somehow? Unfortunately, it's like a play effect. So even if there was like a donate thing that you could do, then it wouldn't really do anything to like just cause them to skip their draw step. It's not enough. So
Someone brought up, so if you play this and the enemy kills the gear, you just kind of lose. Yeah, kind
yes,
of.
yeah, kind of.
You just literally lose your entire hand. So ideally, that's why Colin's saying like you're playing this when you don't have much of a hand, or like someone
Hmm.
mentioned Jinx, like you're. It's ideally like okay, well they killed the gear, but I only had like a 1 card hand anyway, so like I only banished a single card. It's not that big a deal. Like
I mean
I was playing off the top anyway. So.
that's why I really like it with Zed, um, personally, because like for a number of reasons, I think it works super well with Zed because we have our legend ability. So it'll when you play it, it'll immediately empower the Zed because you're banishing cards. So he gets empowered. You get to immediately activate it. You don't have a card in hand, so you just get to draw one. And then you can play, assuming that you mill his signature spell. If it wants to load for me. Sorry, super slow. So assuming that you mill your signature spell, then you can flow it for either cost because now we can play cards from our grave. So depending upon how much energy we have versus power, we can burn another 3. So now we have access to what 9 cards in our trash. Um, and that will empower Zed again so that you can then like next turn you have access to the discard to draw. So you can just like play the card from your hand and you're still drawing a card every turn. But um, yeah.
Just detonate the riches and it's a draw 9. Busted. I don't think that's how that
This does
works.
not work like that because you need the riches to play cards from your trash. But you know, if I mean, and that's the other thing too is with flow being the new mechanic. Even in the worst case where they blow it up, if it mills a bunch of flow cards, I know that red does have access to a bunch of flow cards. So you know, any of those that ends up getting milled will still do something. So. Um, And then Snap Index Rex for someone who did enjoy Draven and wants to dive back in. I mean, Draven is still a fantastic deck. Anton
Yeah.
was able to win his last skirmish on Draven, so yeah, if you enjoyed Draven, just play Draven. We have the new Draven Esh and Zed. I think it'll play a lot differently, so I think Zed's pretty cool. So
Yeah, if you go to our challenger Twitter or my Twitter, you
hmm,
should be able to find that list. You could just start there as a starting point.
yeah, for sure. So I think it's overall a cool card. I don't know if this will see main deck play as we already mentioned, but um, definitely something that I think is going to be worth sideboarding potentially out of some decks. Like I was thinking about it for Akali, just because that deck plays doesn't really play any gears, so people are going to board out their gear hate. And if you go into a control deck, then hey, 5 energy draw 7 is good, and then you play like a Stellacorn Herder, so you can still draw cards. You can still have cards in hand, even in the worst case that they do blow it up. So. Um, yeah. So yeah, I think it has a lot of potential. I don't know where my head's at currently with the new legends, but um,
Yeah, we were literally the whole team was on theory crafting just before we went live. So we've been
yeah,
like theory crafting for the last few hours.
Yeah, we kind of
But
took
we're
the
still we're still figuring out a lot of stuff, and there's still a decent amount of spoilers to see too. So
yeah, exactly.
like you guys are waiting for Mel's six or I'm Bess's six spell. We're still waiting for Jay's six spell.
Yeah,
We're
I
still
think
waiting
it's just those
for.
two,
Is it
right?
just those two?
Oh,
Oh,
Shen.
Shen. We don't have Shen's
Yeah.
either. Yeah.
I don't know what they could print to make Shen good, unfortunately, but
Both of his chosens were so bad.
yeah, I think you're just playing
Hey, you're playing his original chosen.
as
That one's
OG.
not a bad card. Yeah, his
Yeah.
OG chosen's good.
Actually, for both Jace and Shen, right? We're just playing ROG Chosen.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, and
I've
every
seen
other.
some Jace that's playing the six drop one, but I don't know if that guy's
Doesn't
bad.
that guy cost a power or something?
Yes, he does. He
Oh
does.
my god, like, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was
what's
that
up,
Diana
Diana?
D'Amico in the chat?
The one and only. Well, we were just talking about the spoiler card that you gave us, so thank you for that. Shout out
Yep.
to Diana for all of her support for the community. Definitely a super cool one.
Yeah, we just talked about we just went on a pretty long spiel about how to use the card.
Yeah, so I think it's cool. I'm gonna do some brewing with it and other cards as well, talking about everything Vendetta now. It's the new cool set coming out
Yeah.
for sure. Shin might be a damage negation six spell. Yeah, that's one thing we were thinking is that it probably will be his ultimate, right? And it's like you uh give a unit like prevent X damage or something, and then maybe move a unit to be there so that it works with like both of his current
Yeah.
chosen champs to be like the hold two thing, and then you can use his legend ability, give the thing that you're preventing damage from tank. So um yeah, super cool.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Like that his sig would be like move a unit to another unit and like do something defensive.
Yeah. I think honestly, I was like kind of expecting I think it was Key Bearers, the card, right? Yeah, this was like kind of what I was expecting his
Sure.
six spell to be honest. So
Something like that.
something
Yeah.
very similar. So I'm wait, is this Shen's six spell? No, this is probably his like dodge auto ability, his W or his E. No, his E is his taunt, so I think this is W maybe. I don't know what
Yeah.
his ultimate's called, but what do you think of the new cat that you choose a spell and your opponent can't play it? I think that card's terrible. I think that card is really bad.
Yeah, I mean if there's like some very specific spell you need to play around, I still don't know if this is a good enough sideboard card, but yeah.
I saw
It's a
people,
cat. It's a
yeah,
cat for Ivern.
I saw people blowing up about it. Is it not on Piltover yet? That's a shame.
No, it's not there.
Yeah, I'll have to pull up the image.
All cards are worthy. I don't know about Price of Progress.
All
Maybe
cards are
now. Maybe now
worthy
with Jace.
except Sprite Fountain. Yes, I'm sure most cards you can make worse if you have an absolute favorite. I always love to see people brewing with a few exceptions, of course. What do you guys think about Keybear? I think it's a good card. It's
Yeah, it
doing
seems fine.
what this deck wants to do. I mean, being able to fog a combat. We saw like Jax having Counter Strike be one of the stronger cards that exists. I think this is a very similar effect. Sometimes even
Yeah,
better
you
because
get to push them out, right? Like it's kind of like a
yeah,
stun. Like
yeah,
if you prevent the damage and you stay there, your defender, you just push them out.
yeah. And this one also prevents all of the damage, so you or the next 7 damage as opposed to the Jax one that's prevent the next source of damage. So
Right.
the issue with the Jax one was if they had like some way to just ping you for a
If they
little
have
bit
like
of
a
damage.
ping, sure.
Yeah, then it's just like, oh, your counter strike's gone. But this one's just like, oh, you ping me for 1 or even 3, and it's like I still have the negation effect. So yeah, poor Jax. Yeah, the change. I mean, it made sense to me that they changed his Errata's legend, but It definitely hurt him a little bit. So, but yeah, how do you guys think about Aurelia's looking for set four? I mean, honestly, based on what our last tier list was, I don't think there's much that will be moving around. Um,
I think we might add slot in a few of the new legends into like the A tier and B tier, but I don't know that we're gonna have too much moving around at the top.
yeah. Let me see if this will copy things over for this is what my most recent tier list was that I made. Hopefully it'll save it. Yeah, this is about right. For those who are curious at where I thought the current meta was, and honestly, I don't really expect much of this stuff to change around, right?
Right.
Um,
I don't know what are we gonna do now with our tier list now that when you can't metal card, like if they don't belong in metal card side quests because you can't side quest them anymore.
yeah, I
Do
guess
they just go to guarantee?
we
Like
need
do
a
they,
new
we got to
new
make a whole
tier.
new tier? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what Garion tier
Figure
ends
it
up
out.
being. We have to move all of these down to the true Garion tier, unfortunately.
Yes, the banished zone tier.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about the new RC requirement and stuff, and I do agree that it is kind of a little weird that you have to go 4-2 or better to get the best of. I think it may have been like an overreaction to the theoretical thing that the that happened for the guy with the Rumble. I don't even know how true it is, but someone was talking about how a Rumble who just like didn't win. I didn't actually win a match. He just had like 5 no shows. And, I think he went like 0-2, drew round 3, and then like had 5 no shows or something like that. Um, but I don't know how true that actually is. So maybe that's what their reasoning was for.
Diana says not because of the rumble.
Okay, not because of the Rumble. Just wanting it to be more competitive makes sense. I do think it's a little weird if we get to worse for some of like our worst legends, like that the Garen alt art that you guys are commissioning may just not even be like it may be well, there will just be 0 of those that actually exists because well day twoing with Garen like seems very difficult. So
Yeah,
um
I think like having someone just show up, like with what the current over number or the regular best ofs are going for, you imagine the over numbers are going to be worth like two, three, 5 times as much, maybe even more. And so like just to have someone just be the one guy that showed up with Garen or Yasuo, like, and then they just instantly snag like $100,000 card, whether they just bomb out or not, is like I don't
yes.
necessarily think it's a bad thing because it's an invitational event. So like I wouldn't care if it was the other way. I wouldn't be like, oh no, you shouldn't be able to do that. But I can understand why like they want to have a little bit more competitive integrity to the prizing.
Right. Well, you have to think about it. There's going to be like only about 300 people that show up to this thing, right? Based on the amount of people that have been invited or will be invited, maybe 350. And we're going to have, well, we're currently at 49 legends that exist, right? And then we'll have a new set. So 58 legends will exist with 300 to 360 people in the event. That's like, what, 5 to 6 people per legend on average. So
Yeah.
it definitely creates a situation where, and that's just assuming that everybody equally split amongst the legends, which we obviously know is not going to be the case. People are going to want to go for the win and play whatever the more competitive legends are. So that means that there's going to be a lot of these Iverns and Rumbles and Lee Sins and Leonas and such that are all just going to have exactly one of one person that's on it. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's actually someone in the chat said 40 legends. No, it is going to be more than 40 legends at that point because they're allowing the origins ones to be one and the proving grounds ones, and then we're
Hmm.
going to be in set 5 by the time the regional rolls around. So we're going to have the 9 legends from set 4 plus however many are in set 5. So we're probably going to be looking at like closer to like the higher end of 50 pushing towards 60 legends. So like if there's only
Yeah.
300 players, like yeah, there's it would be very easy to see like only one person show up with a legend.
Hmm. So, I mean, we might still end up seeing that. We'll have to see. It's kind of tough to think about because it's an entirely new format. We don't even know of Vendetta that is spoiled yet, right? So knowing what's
Right.
going to be going on with that is, I know people have already been asking me about that one, and I'm like, bro, I haven't even figured out what I'm doing for set 4 yet. Like,
Right.
let's start with this and then
Gotta
go from
figure out what
there.
I'm playing for Barcelona. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I will say that Akali is very tempting to me. So, for a lot of reasons, I think that it's a pretty cool deck. So, um, yeah, I think people were talking about like, oh, he's gonna play Ambessa, and I'm like, I'm probably not playing Ambessa. I don't think that this deck does what I like out of the set. So, I don't think the legend ability works super well for what I'm used to doing. So, for those who are interested in playing Ambessa, y'all are free to go on that one.
Yeah, definitely want to see her Sig spell. I think like her Chosen's pretty good. Her Legend is like so,
Yeah,
but the Sig could make it.
yeah. Ambessa having a 4 for 4 and a 5 for 5, both of which have relevant abilities, I think is pretty strong for her. So
Yeah, I like both of her champs.
Akali is definitely not the best deck. I can tell you guys that matter of factly. I I
Yeah,
think that she going back to her tier list, I would expect her to be kind of in B tier, similar to where the rest of the stuff is. I don't know if I'm gonna do a full tier list right now. This one doesn't even have the new legends
yeah.
on it.
Well, we'll be doing that video this
Yeah,
weekend anyway. So yeah,
yeah,
we should have a
exactly.
video dropping where we're once we see the rest of the Sig spells, which will come out this week. Then we'll be dropping a video where me and Colin will kind of rate all of the new legends and talk about their Sig spells and chosens
Yes. So hopefully, assuming that we get, I think we're just missing Ambissa and Jace, right?
and Shen, the
And Shen,
Sigs.
Shen,
Yeah,
yeah. So
three
hopefully we get
Sigs.
those in the next day or two. Then we'll have that recorded, and we'll make sure to do a tier list as well because people love their tier lists. I'm sure we can tag that on too, and either release it as a separate video or as part of the same thing. You know, big
Someone asked,
announcement.
"Are you gonna do a?" Oh yeah, you were about to read it
You're gonna
too.
big announcement stream for what you'll play as well. I don't know if I'll do it on stream. We'll
Yeah, we
definitely
always do it in our Discord.
yes, and our Discord we do, and maybe I'll shout it out on Twitter too, just because people are always clamoring for it. And I know it worked, kind of worked to my benefit and also to everyone else's benefit when I was like, I'm playing set for the rest of it, and then we just saw the number of people playing set drop off a cliff. I think at Hartford we had the same number of sets as there were Garens, so and it makes sense. I think I tell everybody you're not going to win it, so you might as well focus on something else. It's just going to be Sig gear properly, probably. That's what we're thinking. Right now, his forecast Jace does not seem to have any real targets with it right now, which I think is also probably a good thing because it's a little too easy. I think to I'll just kind of set to Vendetta. It's a little bit too easy when the forecast Jace starts in your chosen champ zone to activate this because you can just use any gear and immediately get to cheat on summon energy for free. So,
Yeah, I would
and
hope that like his gear it would be like a signature gear and it's his hammer and like you can play that with 4 drop Jace. That'd be nice.
yeah, I think that's the theme that we're trying to go for here for all the J stuff. So I think that'd be cool. I think he's got good art. This is his arcane stuff. So
Yeah, he looks cool. Do we have his alt? We don't have his alt yet, huh? His overnumber?
no, no, we do not. Hopefully it'll be like his post. Well, arcane's been out long enough, right? I can spoil some
Yeah, I think it's
spoil
been out long enough.
spoilers. People can mute for the next 5 seconds if they haven't seen Arcane. But yeah, his post time travel skin I think is would be kind of cool.
Ah,
Some
yes,
sort of like rugged
rugged
war
Jace.
torn man.
Yeah,
For I mean we've kind of got a theme right now when it comes to all of our Vendetta legends, right? They released a lot of them. And I've been seeing it everywhere in Riftbound Twitter. All the thirst posting when it comes to like
the
the
armpit posting.
Nasus, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did the same thing. The classic, you had to do the pose, show off the arms, right? But that's I got a shirt on at least, so the
A lot of
pits
the
are covered.
overnumbers look really sick. The
Yeah.
Akali is beautiful.
Yes, I'm very excited
The
for this
Zed is
Akali.
insane.
Yeah, this one's also was drawn by the original splash artist for Akali too. So
Oh,
I
that's
think
dope.
that's
Yeah.
cool.
Dude, imagine getting that over number at the RC. Would
Yes,
be
definitely. This is a cool one for sure. Well, we'll see. I think it's pretty likely that I'll still go for the set once it comes to the RCs, just because it seems like a deck that I can maybe top eight on, and obviously still get the best of. So there's
yeah, Omesa over number is pretty fire too. I like that one.
yeah, and then yeah the
Yeah, Zed
Zed,
is beautiful.
the Kinnan here is pretty cool. Feels like
Yeah, he's
a
cool.
is it the electric guy from Demon Slayer is the what it immediately gave me the vibes of, combined with like the that kind of vibe. The Mel obviously is great. So
Yep. They all look good. All over numbers is set, with the probably the exception of
with the
Reddick,
one
look
exception,
like
yeah,
pretty amazing. Yeah.
yeah. But you know, sometimes when the artwork's not the greatest, it can become a meme and worth something on its own. Especially when they had like the weird AI version. Um,
Yeah, the texturing on it could maybe make it look really cool too. Like you have to remember these are
yeah,
also textured foils, so like they maybe the art's kind of basic, but like the texturing's insane.
for sure. Yeah, yeah. I think
Layering, right? Layering.
layering. Yeah, exactly. I'll need it for my Shin collection whenever that ends up layering. My mistake. That's all right. You can beat me up later. I deserve it. Um, but yes, it is overall pretty cool. I think there's been hopefully I guess with the lag we haven't gotten all of our new cards revealed yet. See if this will actually work. Yeah, I want to talk about
It-
this feline because this is like the one card that people have like extra hyped up. Let me see if I can find it on. Oh, wait. Oh man, whose card is that? That's crazy.
oh, it's there already.
It's there
That was
already.
quick.
Yeah,
That was quick.
they're on top of it. It's probably because they follow me. I scheduled a post for it on X as well, so
Sure, sure.
that's perfect. Yes, you do have permission, Diana. They heard it. It's recorded. Yeah, I saw some people asking about the Heron. I unfortunately do not think this card's very good, but it does work kind of. It's just very slow, as like the big thing about this card. Where like typically when we're playing like our 6 and 7 energy cost cards like Ferris Forner and stuff, the reason those cards are good is because despite being slow, is that you can immediately play them to the battlefield and then retreat out. This one doesn't work like that because if you're playing it to the battlefield, then that's your first card for the turn, right? So this is a card that you have to play in base, and then next turn you can move it in and then start playing stuff for free, or at the discounted rate. So you get a free Falling Stars with energy, which is quite good. Um, but I don't think it's quite that strong personally.
Yeah, it seems like a okay NASA support. I just don't know if it's good. I just
Yeah.
don't think it's very good. Like, yeah, like the dream. Like, if you look at siphoning strike, right? Like, you can't actually ramp with this with siphoning strike on turn two because your opponent has played a unit back in their base. So then when you're on four, you can't kill a unit at a battlefield. So you can't like just go to 7 next turn. So unless you're hitting exactly find your center, then you could play the Heron on 7, assuming that you had a way to get to the battlefield with like a 2 drop you played on turn one.
Hmm.
And then like your reward for all of that is just an extra like falling star worth of energy and power, which isn't nothing because you also get to untap too with Nasus. But I just don't know that this card's doing enough. Some people have brought up the maybe playing this in Yi as well. They're like blocking, and then you like play discipline, and then it adds a punch first worth of
Oh, true.
energy
I guess I didn't
and
even
stuff for
realize
you.
it
Like,
is when you play your first card each turn, so it
yeah,
works on
it
your
does
opponent's
work on
turn.
opponent's turns. So
Yeah.
like, yeah,
So free
there is
punch
some
first
cute stuff there. Yeah,
is
free
pretty
punch first.
nice. Yeah, that's not as bad as I thought. It does require it to be your first card though, so it does create some awkward situations where like if you're only holding out the punch first and then you have to like play they like bait you into playing a defy first, then they don't have to play
Yeah,
around it anymore. But that
maybe
is
like
that is
an
nice.
Aurelia unit, you could like do do something like a on guard, and then you create like a rebuke or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
Yeah. Free rebuke. You can free wind wall. Or I guess it
Yeah.
still costs you 1 energy, but still. Yeah. Yeah. So this card does not count. I mean, when you play your first card each turn. So the way that I'm reading this is that if I play this on my turn, immediately to a battlefield, this would be the first card I play this turn. So it will not reduce anything. But
Yes,
on your
chat
opponent's turn,
preview.
yeah, you can play a premonition for a single power. Y'all thought called shot was bad, then we have just draw three. Um, the reveal happened. Yep, this is my card. It's actually on Piltover Archive already. So unless Riches was
Yep.
my card. So, but I didn't. Yeah, the fact that you can do some stuff on your opponent's turn is quite nice, especially like you said with Nasus, where if you like played on turn three, you get to ready 2 runes and then go into your opponent's turn, and now you're holding up 4 energy and 2 power, which is pretty good. Um, two
Did you
cost
want to
foils.
cover? Did you want to go into spoilers? Do you want to or I was thinking maybe we could cover the RC news
Yeah, we could do the. I guess we haven't really
before
talked
we
about
jump
that
into
yet.
spoilers slash QA. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, just because this is something we've kind of talked a little bit about already. But for those who don't know already, they've kind of announced what the North American Regional Championship is. So it's going to be alongside the TFT event at, I guess, what they're calling Conversions Specs, which is something that I'm pretty excited for. I think it's just something that Riot's very well known for wanting to mix and mash all of their events together, right? So um, having it be us alongside TFT, I think, is really cool. Um, and yeah, for those of us who did get a top 64 invite, there's also the top two from the Showdown series, or top four if it ends up getting enough people, or top one, I think, at maybe at some of the smaller events. If we go to the article, it'll tell you the exact amount of people that are invited. But yeah, not too many people that are actually invited to both this and yeah, or the European one. So obviously, Anton and I both have invites for both North American and EU, as well as pretty much everyone on the team, I think, has invites for both. So,
Yeah, we should have
uh,
the team at pretty much all of them, and the guys who don't have their second invite are planning to get one in the next 3 events.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. So,
Most of
but
us should have it though.
yes, I think, yeah, the vast majority of us do. Um, we got Priz, who's sucked all the invites up with his,
Yeah, Priz has like 8 invites or something.
yeah. So very funny. I think I only have five or six. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I say a lot of people don't worry about the way it reads. Heron has been eroded. Okay, that's. I see a lot of conflicting info, so I guess we'll see once the Reddit thing comes up. But yeah, so this one's going to be 6 rounds of Swiss. You have to go 4-2 in order to make it, which currently right now you have to go 5-2 at an RC in order to make day two. So technically a little bit easier, right?
To go 6-2,
Six
right?
two, but most of us end up having buys, right? So I just
Sure, sure, sure.
um, counted as 5-2 pretty much. 5-2 with a buy or 6-2. Um, yeah. So I think that part will be not quite as bad, but it will, in theory, be a much heavier like competition where, because the pool is so small and the only people that will be there are people who've already topped an event. Like expect it to be significantly more competitive, right?
Yep.
Um, so and then Saturday is 6 additional rounds. So we're talking about a 12-round event, which actually let's do the math on that. What do we think we can do the math here. There's 12 RCs that exist, right?
Yeah, 12 it's 12 times 64 is 768. I've looked at this number multiple times recently.
Yeah.
So we have
Divide it.
768 invites total. That is not including the additional ones that are being burned or any no-shows. But we also now
Yes.
have these showdown invites. What do you think that's adding? Maybe 10, 20?
Yeah. 10-ish. And like,
Yeah.
yeah. But the amount, I know that last time I saw it, there were like 40 or 50 invites that are already burned. So we can just say 350.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think that's the number we've been using lately, I think.
yeah. So
About
we're
350 per event.
Top eight advances. Oh, I see. So it's a Friday and then Saturday event, and then Sunday is just the semifinals and finals. Interesting. Um, but so it'll be top eight. We'll just say 350 is conservative. We have 12 rounds. So it looks like basically 10-2 will be the cutoff.
Yeah,
Or
X2.
yeah, 10-1-1, which I think is fine.
Oh yeah,
If we
yeah,
include draws at like 3%, then yeah, some this has a 3% draw odds, making it so maybe even like 9-2-1 is able to make it. So honestly, not as bad, which is nice. Gives you basically an
yeah.
extra
It's
round to
nice that
lose.
if you go in X2 day two, you can still make top cut. Like, if you win out,
Yes.
you can still get there. It's not like you're just X2. Well, I'm dead. At least I got my best of. Which, hey, if you get a best of at this event, you're probably pretty stoked anyway. But
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, a little bit nicer for that. And then they're doing top eight at each RC. We'll go to Worlds, which is I think that's a little steep, but I guess Worlds is just going to be a 16-man event. Is
plus
really
China, right?
oh plus China, yeah, whatever ends up being given out to China. So maybe it'll be like 16 from the world and like 8 from China or 16 from China for a 32-man bracket would make sense to me.
Yeah, I know there's been some speculation because we technically don't know yet. There has been some speculation that like people are saying, well, what if there's like another RC season before Worlds, and then like it's two RC seasons worth of feed, but we technically don't know. So,
Yeah.
we
Um,
just know Worlds is supposed to be next year sometime.
right. I like the new symbol that they've done on the promos. It's a little bit more Riftboundy, a little bit more intense than the current circle that they've used.
Yeah,
So
this first Casante is going to be the entry promo. So like everybody who got invited will get one of these.
mhm.
And then they're doing a day two promo, which I'm hoping they really bring this into RCs as well, or RQs, because like I think it's just cool. Like, hey, you made day two. Here's another little additional bit of prizing because it's hard to make day two. So like getting an exclusive day two one is nice, and of course the top eight one is
Yeah.
actually like the one I'm the most hyped about because look, guys, original art. Like
Yes,
there's
original
two
art.
there. We got the regular art, we got the alt art, and
Right.
then we actually have an original art card for top eight.
Yep,
Hopefully,
it's
it's original.
stamped too, so that part
Yes,
is super
stamped.
nice. So
Yeah, this
there,
is this is the kind of pricing we want. Like
yeah,
more of this,
exactly.
please.
Yes, it'll be set 5 format, so we don't know what the exact format will be yet, but um, yeah, that's pretty sweet. And then some champion card that is not ready yet. So
Yeah, maybe another Kisante, maybe a whole other card. Pool party
yes,
Ari.
yeah, this is the other thing is best ofs returns, where everyone there'll be a best of that are all tarts for every legal legend we available as a best of plated, but you do have to make day two, which is going to be a little bit tough if we do. Let's see, so 6 rounds, top doesn't matter. I think it ends up somebody did the math and it's like 25% of the tournament will make day two. So at 350, that's like 90 people, 87.5, I guess. So that will actually make it. And there's like somewhere between 59 and 62 legends that will exist. So there will definitely be a lot of best ofs that end up getting burnt.
Yep.
Mathematically, it's possible for everybody to get their best of, but very unlikely for that to happen, I think.
Yeah,
So,
it would be a miracle, a freak accident. I feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
so exactly. Um, Over number best ofs are going to be next. Yeah, I think especially the ones that are going to be one of ones, because I'm sure that will happen. Where again, we only have 2 of these events for this series. So the only thing I will say is that there maybe will be a similar thing for next year, but we'll have to see how that ends up being.
Oh, Diana
Um,
said state of the game should answer all this, so I guess
so the
we
game.
might
So
have more info coming soon then, because I think that's
yes.
coming in August. So,
No, I think is that the
or is
post
it?
that's on Thursday?
Is that yeah? Is that the actual state of the game? Oh, it's first week of
First
August.
week
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
August. Okay. I know that Thursday is the ban list announcement, right? That they wanted to get
Yes,
out
yes.
as soon as possible for people to start testing and such. Um, and then yeah, there's some cash pricing, but obviously this is not what we're really playing for.
Yep. I mean, I do think I will just say like I'm appreciative that it's more money than the pools for the RQs, but it's like a very like it is more. It's like 20K more, and that's not like nothing. But I don't know. I just see the TFT Open is like hundreds of thousands of dollars, and
Hmm.
we're getting cool prizes that are probably worth that much. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was just kind of surprised that it didn't really bump up that much. But we'll have to see what
I'm
Worlds looks
I'm
like.
a
But
little bit
either
on
way, I
the
mean the
opposite.
pricing is fine. Like
Yeah. So long as they continue to do cool promos and prize cards like this, I think in the card game space, that can carry a lot of the pricing for me
yeah,
personally.
for
And
sure.
I would rather it be something where there's like cool pricing, like these promos and stuff, rather than actual cash pricing, because realistically, those promos will sell for more than they're ever going to be able to put up for cash. So yeah, ban list
Yeah,
and
most
rules
likely for
update on
sure.
Thursday. So that's cool.
Cool.
Um, yeah.
The best of Garen's gonna go crazy. Yeah, if the best of Garen can go 4-2 on day one versus a bunch of sweats.
Yeah, I think that'll be tough, to be honest. But I mean, that would be part of the reason why I'd go crazy, right? The story
And that's what
behind.
didn't T say he's going for that? The Garen guy himself. I think
Uh,
that's what he's gonna try and do.
okay, well, shout out to him. Best of
Good luck,
luck.
T.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna need it. So we'll have the ban list and rules update on Thursday. I think the only card that's been confirmed, or in quotation marks, was they wanted to ban the 3 card combo that Kennen has access to. So one of the 3 cards will be banned. I'm assuming that it'll be the sneaky guy, shady or whatever it is, because that was what was referred to as in the tweet. But that's the only card that we know for sure. So you're gonna feel so silly when like 8 pieces of Garen support get spoiled tomorrow. I don't know if there's any amount of Garen support that can make
Yeah.
Garen playable. I mean, he needs honestly the thing that's holding Garen back the most, even more so than the fact that his legend ability just like doesn't do anything. Um, are we still on it? Is that his chosen champ's just terrible? It's like the worst chosen champ in the game, right?
Both of them are terrible. Yes, they're both
Wait, he has
literally
two?
unplayable. Yeah, yeah. It's the orange one and the yellow one. They're both
I thought
so
he,
bad.
I thought he only had one.
And Power 5 set loses. Wow, that's broken.
Yeah, classic. That's what I'm used to at this point. When they made my legend all about saving my guys in combat, and then they're just like, actually, our deck's about rebukes now, or our game's about
Yes, our game
rebukes.
is bouncing.
Yeah. No, these are.
Yes.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. I see.
Here,
They look
plus
the
one
same.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it costs a power.
Yes.
Like they both cost a power
Yes.
for a 6 for 5. This guy's
Yes.
yes. Which this guy is functionally a 6 and a power for 7 might. But we had to nerf him because that'd be
But
too
that could still
good.
get falling starred because that would be
Yes.
too good.
Yeah, that'd be too good. So
Imagine
very
if
very
this guy
funny.
couldn't get falling starred. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yeah, then he'd still be unplayable, but
He would be a 6 for 7 vanilla for a power.
yes, which is
Broken.
functionally what he is, but it makes sense. This was like the proving ground stuff where this was made to teach people how to play the game more so than be competitive. They just very much so missed the mark with Yi and Annie. So, what would he need to
Yeah.
be good? I definitely would need like a very good chosen champion, some sort of 4 for 4
Yeah.
that
Or at
like
least a
spawns a
basic,
token.
like, yeah, something. A spawn
Uh,
token would be good, like a really big manufacturer.
Yeah, at least with how like I think this guy's intended to be played because he isn't set colors and like there are a lot of token makers that exist out of this. So right now he's just been played as an Aurora deck because in theory anything can be an Aurora deck, right? And
Yes.
he access to like Aurora plus Divine Judgment, and if you get to Aurora plus Divine Judgment, you win the game. So for how he's supposed to be played, yeah, you just need um some better token effects, I suppose, to make like I mean even the issue is just like fundamentally it's having to conquer with 4 units is like crazy. Some sort of weird card that just spawns like a bunch of zero miters or something. They said it was Stealthy Pursuer. I don't know if they officially said that Stealthy Pursuer was the card that would be banned, but I saw they mentioned the Stealthy Pursuer combo and that they were going to ban it. I don't know if that was. I would assume that's Stealthy Pursuer that's getting banned with the way that they worded it. Plus, that card's the least playable of the three. So, oh, you did. Okay, there you go. So, yeah, but I think we can go talk about some. We can talk about some
Other
set four
cards.
spoilers now at this point. So, yeah,
Yep.
I don't. This people are talking about this maybe as getting like eroded, so that if you play it to a battlefield, then like you can immediately use its effect. I don't really know what the case is. Obviously, this card would be much better if that's the case. Um, but that
Yeah, I
Diana.
was assuming it was like that. To be honest, that sucks that it's not.
I
Like
mean,
that card's even worse.
the way that it reads, if this is your first, if you play it to a battlefield, then it clearly does not like you've already played your first card per turn. It's the same thing with how Darius works, right? Where like it counts itself as the second card. It doesn't. If you played something else
Yeah.
and then you play the Darius, it's immediately readied, and that counts as the second
But
card played.
Darius sees itself being yeah, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
but that's
then
the
this
whole
card
point.
would see itself. No,
Well, then,
if
I mean, you
Darius sees
can't.
himself.
It can't reduce itself though, right? You can't just like play this for 5 energy. Is that what you're saying? The way
I
it
mean,
reads, it
no,
describes it.
not 5 energy, but like you would get 2 energy and 2 power that like you could play a falling star afterwards or something
Yeah, no.
or a rebuke.
The way that it reads, it does not discount your second card. There's no world that this ever would discount your
But then
second
why would
card.
Darius see himself?
What what do you mean? I'm very confused. So Darius, we will pull up Darius. So when you play
Yeah, how is
Darius as your
Darius
second,
word?
the next card is you you play.
Yes, is your next
Oh,
card.
I see.
Your
I see.
next card costs.
Okay. I misread this card. I thought it was just the first card you played at turn cost 2 less. So yes, then it does work if you immediately play it to it.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
my mistake.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
This is very weird
But yeah.
wording, but yes. Yes, so it does work that way. Okay. You have to be able to play something else and then use the
Yeah.
effect.
So
Okay.
then you would untap 2 immediately with Nathis
Yeah.
if you're playing this in Nathis, and then you can like play a 4 and 2 power card.
Yes. So that's not too bad. Um,
Yeah,
it's a
for a no
little.
power card that throws 7 mana on the
Yeah,
board, like
that's okay.
it's all right. I don't
Yeah.
know, like yeah, it's an epic, so I mean, like, is a 7 for 7 like almost kind of vanilla card good enough? Maybe.
Maybe. It's tough to say because like going second is the main spot where you'd be able to like play it immediately unless we're like find your centering on turn two. And we're going like 2 drop into find your center and to play this. But then you also need to have like a 4 and 2 power for it to get the most use, right? Or like a
All
two
right,
and
all
two
right.
power.
Captain Richard's kind of cooking. He said Heron into Sona. And then you
Aaron
untap
Misona.
4, and
Okay.
then on your opponent's turn, you get to like discipline, create
Yeah.
infinite.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
Heron into Sona's not bad.
Oh, is it a bird? It is a bird for Ivern. There you go.
Oh, depends for 8.
Yeah. That'd be pretty good. Defense.
8 in the brush.
Yeah. Exactly. Now we're
Notably,
talking.
card cannot get falling starred. You can get falling
Yes.
star stooped, but not falling star.
Yeah. Not too many to explain Falling Star Stoop these days, especially because
No, we didn't
Kaisa's
even get
rotating out.
yeah,
Yeah.
we didn't even get a Kaisa color legend this set.
Yeah. So I haven't even seen. I guess Jin still plays Stoop, right? There's no reason not to.
Yeah,
So
yeah, Jin is
literally just
definitely gonna play
Jin.
stoop. This card's
Yeah.
busted.
Yeah. Tasty and Nasus should be pretty good. True. You can
Yeah,
bring
you
the
can
big.
play falling star with this, but that's only in Akali, right? Like I don't know that
Yeah.
Akali's playing a big 7 for 7 chunky unit.
Not really. I don't think. I mean,
Yeah,
I'll probably
premonition
try
is
it.
nice. I do like premonition out of Nasus. Like do this premonition for only a single power. That seems fine.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Or even just that you don't even need to be in Nasus. You could literally just if you're in that color combo, it's just it provides you with almost an entire premonition.
Can you use the 2 energy on your opponent's turn? That's a good question. So
Uh,
I think
the
that's what
next
the
card,
errata people have been
I
like.
would yeah, that's probably it. The next card this turn or something
Yeah, it's
like because
probably
I
getting
don't think
errata to that.
it's gonna float all that effect. Like yeah.
Yeah. We will have to see on that one. So
Yeah,
if
some
now the
people
discard
can
lingers
discard
into your
it. I
opponent's
don't know that.
turn, That's the errata? I would have to see where that was posted, so if true, then that's kind of crazy. It does linger. Okay. Well, I don't know about that. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, based on its current wording, it probably does, but that's probably the errata. Like, because yeah, no things in this game don't just indefinitely float. Like,
Yes.
I can't imagine that's the intended way they want this card to work.
Yeah. The each turn means this turn? I don't think so. Because the each turn is the trigger effect, and we've already seen like with how Riftbound's rules currently work, right? That they the trigger effect is always going to be separate from the effect of what it actually has. Because it would be kind of crazy where like if you play this to a battlefield and then you pass, then your first thing costs 2 and 2 power less, and then it'll trigger itself. So now the next thing costs 2 and 2 less. So then it'd be pretty crazy. But I'm assuming that their intention was it's not supposed to be a floating effect because we have not seen a floating effect in Riftbound at all. So um, for now, with how it's worded, but like there's some cards that I don't remember exactly what they were, but like in set two that eventually got errated, where like we knew what the intention behind the card was, and eventually ended up getting errated. Granted, we have some of those that exist right now, such as like Emperor's Dice, which clearly the intention was for it to work a certain way, but because of the way the rules are worded right now, it has like this weird bug abuse thing that people have been doing right now. So, um, yeah,
Yeah, YRG asks, energy and power are created always go away at the end phase, but yeah, like the commenter underneath you said, this is a cost reduction, not energy and power being created. So based on the current wording, if it doesn't have an end of turn clause, then this could just indefinitely float.
yeah.
It's just an effect that's reducing the cost.
Yes, it's not energy that's or power that's floating. Someone's asking if you would change your Draven list at all if you're going into a bunch of Yi and Diana.
Uh, I think it's probably fine into those. I was maybe consider boarding a third falling star if you have a lot of Diana. I did find myself really wanting just to see more of that card in that matchup, and I did end up losing to a Diana at a different skirmish I played at with the list. So and it was basically just because I really couldn't find another star, and I remember I needed a mulligan one in the early game. So yeah, maybe a third falling star.
Hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, so I guess this card has a lot of question marks for me as if it'll be good or not, based on if this gets errated or not. So, um, yeah, I assume that it will, but if it comes to the game launch or the set launches and they don't errata and it does work that way, then I think this card will be kind of crazy to have
Yeah,
like a floating effect. Um,
dig through time.
Clairvoyance, yeah. I know that this is more your card than it is mine. I just think it's so funny that this card exists, and then you compare this to Called Shot that existed in set two, and we're just like,
Yes,
huh, Called Shot, huh?
yes,
That's a card that we printed.
that was a card that existed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Clever Minds is cool. I like big chunky cards. 7 is a lot to pay for a spell. You're tapping out like pretty deep in the game when this is happening. But like if you're part of a combo deck or a control deck, you might want access to like cards like this. A lot of people have compared this with like the Magic card Dig Through Time. Obviously, Dig Through Time had an effect called Delve, which made it reduce its cost by quite a bit, so it wasn't always costing that much. Whereas this card doesn't have a way to do that. But I do think out of like Blue Aurora, this seems like a good card. Being able to dig 5 and find your Aurora, or just stack it on top and draw 2 other cards so that it can't get sabotaged. Um, it's reaction speed, so like I guess if you're ever in a position where like you just are in a blue deck that leaves up 7, you could also just use this card if your opponent doesn't do anything.
yeah. I think
It
it's
seems okay.
pretty unlikely out
Kind
of
of niched.
anything, but like a Jace Aurora deck, right? I think that's the only place that you're
Y-
going to see this card.
Yeah, it seems pretty niche, but Blue Aurora, you might see it. Maybe Lux Combo wants to play this card, but probably
I
doubt
mean,
it.
if you're still on Lux, then maybe, but like because it not costing a power is kind of nice, but
Yeah, it draws you 3 cards with the Lux, plus sets up your deck, or
yeah,
recycles cards you don't need. Maybe Lux, but again, like you're not even playing Lux at RQs unless like you're just going for the top 64 and you're just trying to cheese it. Assuming, of course, that nothing from the deck gets hit this ban list. So
yeah. So, yeah, so I think that's probably fine, but
yeah,
fine
it's
for
not the
one
worst big
specific
spell
thing.
we've got. What would that spell we got last set, the like -10 one, was way worse than this. So like
Yeah, that's
this is
true.
actually like a big spell that's like castable. It's might not be very good, but it's castable.
Yeah.
And in a
Uh,
specific combo deck or like a deck like Aurora where you're looking for a very specific card, it's a good card.
yeah. So, but again, Lux rotating. I think it's possible that they hit something out of the Lux combo deck, just because I do think it's some nonsense. But um, yeah, if they honestly, if they, I know a lot of people have been talking about like Arena's Greatest and Aspirants going. I think if you get rid of Aspirants, then like that's possibly enough to neuter that deck. So yeah, I see a few people that were talking about this, but I do think this battlefield is pretty crazy for Aurora, right? What's your take on the Roost?
Yeah, I like the Roost. I think like in Dragon Volley or just Aurora in general, like this seems pretty solid. There's lots of big dragons. Being able to like even like in Volley, for instance, like being able to play Gem Dragon there. Turns your Gem Dragon into a Dead Bloom if you need it at that battlefield, and then like you still get to refund one, so you could still like Aurora next turn, which is nice.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, like seems pretty solid, and we just keep getting more and more dragons, so like the dragon deck is definitely coming together.
Yeah, I think it's more just for being able to flip an Elder Dragon and being able to immediately contest with it, right? Because like that's one of the few
Yeah, even
ways
flipping an
that
Elder off Aurora and just going straight to the battlefield. Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the few ways that the deck kind of gets got is if they ever get to like 6 points and they're threatening lethal, and you don't have a unit that can immediately get you to the battlefield. I think that's where
Yeah,
the Jace version of Aurora really struggles, is both MF and Sivir being the main ones that we've seen, right? Even Yi of the past always had access to the Accelerate unit out of our Chosen Champ zone so that you could immediately get onto a battlefield and start contesting in the worst case scenario. But the majority of these other Aurora decks do not have access to that. So
yeah, it's
this
really
kind
good
of,
that it doesn't require a unit there. Like it's just a constant like you could just keep throwing dragons there every turn as long as you can
yeah,
burn the power, which like Volley doesn't have an issue doing. Other decks might not have quite as much power to burn or runes as Volley does, but like I still think the battlefield's pretty good.
yeah, that makes sense. So, unfortunately, it is a battlefield, so it's kind of hard to build an entire deck around it. But I think it'll be like a potential option for
Yeah, it's the
Aurora
potential
decks.
third battlefield. Like the honestly, like the Forgotten Monument, Bile Maw's Lair, like Paper Tree slot is definitely open. So like it's another one that could kind of slot in that battlefield slot.
Mm-hmm. I see someone asking, "Do we talk about Endless Riches?" Yes, this is my spoiler card, so we talked about it at like
Yeah, if you
minute
you
16 in the pod.
yeah you should be able to rewind if you're on the YouTube or the VOD should be up for both of these after the show's
Hmm.
over.
The other thing I want to talk about, just because I'm calling this right now, I think this legend is unplayable. Unfortunately, I know some people have said they're hype about Renekton, but especially after seeing this chosen champ, yeah, I think Renekton is probably the worst deck
I
in
don't
set four.
don't really know how this champ is supposed to like work in Rennick. Like yeah, going second you can play this turn one. But then like you only have 2 runes the next turn, so like he could swing in for 6, which just like gets contested by like Rengar.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know when you're getting this guy to 10. Like if you're burning all your power every turn, then I'm not sure like when we're ever getting this guy like to 10. So I don't know why this second ability is like
Yeah,
how the second ability matters.
yeah. Also, it just gives like the empower just gives you deflecting ganking, so you have to
Right.
somehow untap with a 5 or 4 might, 5 energy for 4 might. We have to somehow untap, and then like sure, if we untap with this guy, we can spend was that 6 energy in order to gank over to the other side. Like it's this card is so bad. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
maybe in just like a regular orange mid-range deck, this guy might find a place or something if you really need something that breaks in. But like set brawler just seems to do mostly what this deck does, like what this guy does, like way more efficiently, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
he costs a power, but like I don't have to like if you think about how much it's going to cost you to hit 8 for this guy, like you're spending 9.
yeah,
So like yeah,
yeah. The one power is definitely worth it when we're talking about spending 6 energy. Like by the time that you'd cast a brawler or cast this guy, it'll be the power will not be that big of a deal. So yeah, I guess the intention is like with this guy, you can play him, you can pay a bunch of energy and
okay.
like via the Wyndham with Dominus, I guess, is what their like intention was for this guy to just be like the finisher.
Someone
Um,
brought up a pretty good point in chat. That's a fair one. For this card is pretty good in Fiora because he can constantly just bring himself to 5 every turn. So it's
yeah,
just a ramp
mobilize
every
with
single
them.
turn.
Yeah, I just don't know if that's something that like Fiora was missing, right? I don't remember
Sure.
like, and then like what
It's
we're
at
just
least a playable interaction. I'm looking for anything for this card. Like
yeah.
a Fiora card, I could maybe see it.
I mean, I get what they're going for, especially because the empowered with deflect and ganking. It makes sense. They're trying to make it so that you play this guy, you pump him with all your energy, you play a Dominus. Now he's like a billion might. He goes over one side, you ready it with Dominus, and then you conquer the other side, and it's just like your finisher. So I understand what their intention was. I just think that that is not what the Renekton deck needed in order for it to be playable, because I don't think Dominus is that good of a card. And then you also have to play like you have a bad chosen champ, you have a bad legend ability, you have a bad six spell. Like we don't really have much of a reason to be in Renekton when he's already in like one of the color combinations that's struggling. I think with Rengar being the best variation, um, in my mind. So yeah, and all that just
Yeah.
to get Starcross. But don't worry, that it's got deflect. So well,
They have
Starcross.
to
I
pay
guess they
one.
yeah they have to pay
Unless
one
they
extra.
start cross right when you're going to 10, then you're like, whoops.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, I think so. That's just gonna be better in pretty much every situation. So I think the arts are sweet.
Yeah, both of the arts are cool. Definitely very cool.
Yeah. Uh, then last other spoiler, although I'll have to find a picture of the cat so I can pull that up because that's the card I want to go in a rant on. Because everyone was hype about that card, and that card is so bad. But regardless, is Up from the Deep, playing 2/1/1 tentacles with flow. This is like kind of our version of Lingering Souls. All right, for those who are boomers in Magic, that card came out in like 2009, 2010, whenever Innistrad came out, Dark Ascension specifically. But yeah, and that card was one that people like very much so underestimated, just because getting 4 tokens is quite strong. And I think this has some potential too in this game. I think tokens are a lot weaker in Riftbound just because well, they're weaker in some instances and stronger in others. Being able to play this going second and then like immediately threaten to double conquer is really strong, especially with a couple of tokens that you just don't even care about. So, um, yeah,
Yeah, it's also kind of do the I think Ali Eldrazi brought it up on Twitter. Not saying it's necessarily super good, but the fact that like it's a card in Purple Aurora that actually like plays units kind of does what the Sand Soldier card did in Yi.
yeah. I don't know that this is like enough might for it to matter. Out of Yi, the Sand Soldier thing worked because you're a 4 might that's contesting, and you potentially can do it on like both sides, and you have access to discipline to like potentially pump over some more. Purple does not have access to any of those, and it's just 1 mites. So,
Sure.
um, yeah, I think that this is not going to be playable for that, but I do think it's playable potentially out of some of the Kin Index or anything that's like a purple aggressive deck. Um, and just having access to always doing something with your energy is really nice. So I think that tokens are weaker in some instances in other games because you can't like chump block with anything, they just get run over. But when you're being aggressive, tokens are so strong because they're just like, oh, I'll just throw this tentacle onto the battlefield, I get my point, while your opponent's not contesting, and then it's like, okay, well, now you have to commit a real unit in order to run over my token, and then I can start committing real things to it. So um Baron buffs him. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much Baroning we'll see in set 4, but um, it's I don't know. I think this card's good. Plus, you can play it off
Yeah,
Fizz for free, which is strong, and then it becomes a Vanguard captain. That was one of the things we were talking about too. So
yeah, it's just a one less might manufacturer that can flow, which is nice.
yeah. Who do you guys think will have the strongest pre-rift kits? I'm sure we'll do a pre-rift video. We do them for.
We will definitely have, yeah, we'll have the pre-riff kit. Who do we think though? Like, I mean, we don't even know. We don't know who the pre-riff champs are yet. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure. So, you think Fizz could get banned? I think so. I think that card is way too good.
it's a card that I could, yeah, it's a card I could see getting hit. I don't think it necessarily needs to at this moment in time, but it's like almost there.
I think the card that I wanted to get banned out of that nonsense is the pack, just because I think Infinite Recursion is some nonsense. So it's um, not gonna pull up because I think it's currently on the current Vendetta spoilers. But I think pack is like the one card that causes all this degeneracy of infinite looping. But Fizz is also up there too because like the fact they can Fizz Starcrossed, Fizz Starcrossed, Fizz Starcrossed is just like
Yes.
okay.
I mean, Starcross is a problem in my mind, not just as an Aurora player, but I do think just like reaction speed base removal is kind of absurd.
Yes, I think that is a little, and the fact that like sometimes it's just a benefit for the fact they have to bounce your own use. And obviously, when they printed that card, I'm sure they believed that it was all downside. But honestly, with
Yes.
Fizz existing, it's pretty much all upside. So
Yes, he just bounced the fizz that now gets to get more value.
yes, I do hate Control Israel. I think it's a nonsense deck, but
Colin's tormented by the 25K he went to.
yes, I mean the matchup's unplayable for Set, and I accepted that. But
Yeah.
it's one of those that like I hate decks like that that are just 100 zeros and or 0 hundreds based on the matchup because like in a game like Riftbound where we only have access to 8 sideboard slots, it's not like I can really afford to tech it when there's only like 1 or 2 people playing this deck, right? So it's just like, oh, if I run into
Right.
it, I just lose. Even though this is a deck that otherwise, like if it was the most popular deck, oh, I just shoved 3 camels in my deck and then congratulations, you lose. Um,
Right.
so I very much so don't like decks like that that are just like built around the idea of well, if you have the answer to me, then I lose, and you don't have the answer to me, then I get to win for free. So
Oh, that
uh,
was you. You brought us Starcross Grenton. That was your preview card. Oh,
yeah, the best
I don't
card
know
in the
if we could
set
be
there.
friends anymore.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
You brought us that evil.
Yeah, you should have told right as soon as they handed it to you. Be like, actually, take this one back. We the Riftbound community doesn't want this one.
Yeah,
You're
you're
playing.
playing bully right now, so that
Yes,
you know what that card does.
Diana Lunari is the best card out of set three. I could agree with that. It's a good one. Leave Diana cards alone. You got plenty of other ways to rebuke. You don't need to. I mean, if they get
Yes, you
rid
have.
of
They
Fizz,
just
then
printed another one. They literally just printed another one this set.
yeah, I think if they
We're
get
getting
rid
a
of Fizz,
rebuke per
it's
set.
fine. Yeah, Fizz, Starcross, and Abandon Hall. Yeah, I think Abandon Hall is pretty nonsensical too, with like the Aurelia interaction and stuff too. Um,
Actually, we
but
got like two rebukes last set, right? We got Starcross and we got the stun one.
mhm, yes, so many ways. I mean, already in like set one and set two, we were all like, "Oh, we should ban a rebuke," and then just printed a bunch more. And it's
Yes.
like, well,
Yeah, there's like four now. It's like, oh,
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
even matter. They could hit two of them and there's still more.
yeah. Unless they get rid of all of them, it's cooked.
Like,
I will say that this artwork is incredible for the
yeah, both
Leona
of
and
those are
Diana.
nice.
Yeah, I'm excited
That one's
to
sick.
collect all the altates from this set. I'm just gonna buy them all. That's fine. I don't know if
What do we
there's.
think of the other battlefield,
Oh yeah, we
the
didn't.
Rennick one?
The only thing that's like, I don't. You could like in theory play this going first if you're a deck with.
To
So
draw one card.
I think out of like a Kali or like Diana, maybe that if you're just playing the 2 drops going first, and you can go like 2 drop into Conquer, pay the one to draw a card, and then like play your thing. But I think even out of Renekton, like they seem to have this theme where it's like, oh, if you control four or fewer runes, then you get to do stuff. But they're all based on the idea of drawing cards, right? They're all based on the idea of like, oh, you get all your card advantage, you just have to be at four or less runes. But then, like, if I'm at four or less runes, then what does card advantage even matter? I can't play any cards. I'm basically going to be spending my energy on the one card that I get to play per turn, and then like that's it. So it's just like, what is the what is the point? Because there's the big red dumb red dragon, right? This guy,
Yep.
right? Where they're like,
Earth Dragon.
when I
Yep.
move, if you control four or fewer runes, you get to draw one, which is like cool, I guess. But again, it's like the same theme. And it's like, oh, if I have no runes to play any of my cards, then I can have some cards in hand that can just sit there and look pretty. Like that's nice.
Yeah, because you could play this guy if you have to get to six. In order to play this guy in Rennick 2 and stay on the 4 curve, you have to get to 6, use Rennick to go down to 4, play this guy with the extra energy. Then next turn you have to use Rennick immediately again because you're going back up to 6. You burn the 2, so you float the energy, swing with this guy, draw 1. But like
Yes.
you have to get to 6 with Rennick. So like that means that for 2 turns your Rennick's doing nothing because you can't deramp if you're trying to get to 6 to actually play this guy.
Yes. That's just I
Maybe
don't
there's
think
just gonna be different ways to play Rennick. Maybe he is just gonna be more of a mid range, like get to 6 and then just play 8s, like be kind of stompy versus really aggressive. But I just don't see it working that well. I don't know.
yeah. I don't know. I'm calling it right now. I think I mean Shen might be the worst legend just because of the current Trojan champs we've seen and this color combination historically has not done anything. But outside of that, I think Renekton is bottom two for sure with how it's designed, which I know a lot of people have been hyping up because it's like, oh, energy cheating or something. But I'm like, no, this guy is not good, unfortunately. Or just play Rengar. It'll be better, I promise.
Yeah, his Sig Spell and his champs are also not giving me like much pull to play him. Like
Yeah.
his ability isn't really calling to me though. I could see it being like kind of interesting, but the other two cards are just like neither of his chosens are good. Like they're like okay, and then his Sig Spell is just very mid.
Yeah. What would Jace need to be promising? I mean, a good chosen champ would be, or good Sig spell would be nice, or Sig equipment or Sig gear for his 4 for 4 to cheat something in. I think that's really all that he's theoretically missing right now. I think it's potentially playable as an Aurora deck right now. I think that's the only
Yeah,
thing, at least with the cards that we've seen, that would make him playable because we're missing a lot of Jace support. Like we saw the gear unit, but there was only one of them. So until we get like more of that type of effect, I don't really see Jace doing great stuff. But saw some people asking for like how I'd rank stuff, and I think Kennen and Zed right now look like the two legends with the most promise, just based on thematically how they work. Um, Kennen is just a deck that's able to see its entire deck, and typically that's good in card games. I think our internal testing, or at least the people have been yelling at me, is like, oh, the deck doesn't do anything, which I kind of agree with, based on the lists that we've seen and made. But I think it's one of those that's just like, with if what it does works, then it does it so consistently and so powerfully that this will be a top tier deck, right? When you have that level of consistency, um, it just comes down to what it's doing is powerful enough, and if it is, then this will be an S tier deck. If it isn't powerful enough, then we'll see it more at the A or B tier side of things, just because again, it will be extremely consistent with its Sig spell plus stack deck, plus like traveling merchants and stuff like that. So, and then Zed is in like an already very powerful color combination, access to a lot of cool cards. I think it's his chosen champ's good. His legend ability is pretty good. Is just like a constant filtering. This was like a discussion we had earlier as well, but filtering in Riftbound is kind of the same as card advantage because it's so rare that you're going to end the game with like zero cards in hand. And even if you do get to a point where you would have zero cards in hand with this guy, then his ability is just to draw one because you don't have to discard in order to use the effect, right? So especially as we're getting like all these flow cards and stuff, you just don't run out
yes.
of cards. I think the specific quote was Anton was like, Stack deck is basically a recall just because you only need like one of those three cards typically most of the time. And I tend to agree where it's just like, yeah, most of the time you're just looking for one specific card or one specific answer. So seeing all three cards sometimes just feels like an ancestral recall because it's just like, yeah, well, it didn't. The other two weren't going to be played even if they were in my hands anyways. So just getting able to dig three for the specific card I need is just absolutely nuts, right? So I think these two are the big standouts for me. I think Mel is like kind of cool, but her legend ability sucks. But her six spell is pretty good, and she has some cool
Yes.
tech, right? So and it is in a color combination that historically has done very very well. So I think Akali is probably like the next tier below that for me. I do think she's good. She has some cool stuff, but I don't think she's doing anything like crazy or game breaking as opposed to like what Zed and Kennen potentially can be doing, right? I think she's going to be a pretty fair deck. Her legend ability is like kind of mid. It only works with a couple of very specific cards. Um, but that being said, it is one that I'm interested in specifically because it's a Akali. So
Yeah, I
um,
think what she's just doing like outside. She's basically the only unfair thing Akali's doing is abusing Stella, and then if you're just trying to like hit Stella onto and abuse it, she's not doing it as well as Aurelia. So it's
yeah,
just
you don't have
like
like
she
the
does have
crazy
one
payoff,
unfair
right?
thing she does, but it's not as good as what Aurelia is doing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because Aurelia gets to do it, and then she has like this 30 might Aurelia that's just like dancing around the board and making life impossible for you because she gets to play her Sig spell and her. Oh, am I low volume? I can try to turn it up a little bit. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those things where she's just doing things a little bit too fair. I think she's like close, and that's why, as I was saying, she's probably like a little bit below those, and she's not a bad legend at all. You know, probably still in the top half of what's here. I think her and Jace are probably on similar spots where like Jace actually seems like a very scary Aurora deck for me, being able to play much of removal early rather than having to worry and rely on ramp, even though he still has access to the majority of the ramp, as well as having access to the gear that taps for one.
Someone in the chat said Shen Sig spell was spoiled where?
Yeah, if he could, that would be nice to see. I can check on Twitter.
I was looking in. Oh, it's in got it.
Yeah, I can't access my Discord right now, but
Can I not send it to you in Discord then? Uh,
uh,
or will that crash everything?
you can. That's fine. I will just have to
Here.
move you. Hide our camera for a second. Okay. We can go here. Let me pull this up.
Boom.
And then I can
Shadow Dash.
oh, do that, and then I can put you back. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry, my Discord is how I currently have Anton up, so.
This card does not read good to me.
Okay, move an enemy unit to a battlefield where you have units. You have exactly 2 units there. They each get +1 this turn. So it's like a weaker charm, I suppose. And it flows for 5 and 2 power. Yeah.
Oh, an enemy. Okay, it's a charm. It's a charm. Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's a charm with flow. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of,
What's
I
the flow
mean,
cost? Is
5
it
and 2
two?
power.
5. Oh,
Yeah. 5 is kind of steep.
5 is pretty steep. Holy. I
Uh,
know it's a second charm and like charms busted, but like 5?
yeah.
I just play a charm.
I mean, I think it's got some potential. You'll probably play at least a copy or two if we're out of Shin. I mean, honestly, just
Yeah.
like charm maxing is a real strat. You give one of your guys tank, and then you're just like, oh, charm every unit you have. I think that's like the only real play that the Shin deck
Yeah.
has, right?
Yeah, it does. It also does not do like the charm send home your biggest guy thing. Like it's more
Yes.
restrictive charm too.
Yeah, but this is going to be a whole deck that's just going to be based around the idea of like killing
Sure,
every unit
yeah,
your
it's a
opponent
whole
has,
deck.
right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
I think this is the type of deck that, because of the legend ability, though, it also makes your charms much better. So I guess that was their intention with the Shin deck, was just to make it like, oh, yeah, we're on infinite charms, infinite spot removal, and hope that that's enough. So,
Sure.
um,
Yeah, I'm gonna be
sa-
honest, chat. None of the I thought his chosens were both not very good. His Sig is not very good, and his Legend's not very good. I'm
yeah,
kind of bummed about my boy Shin here.
yes, that is sad. Shin is officially going to be banished to the Renekton tier.
Yep.
12
Oh,
charms, and this is six of them. Yeah, and compare this to
compared to
Moonfall, like,
Moonfall,
yeah,
please,
yes, like,
please.
yes, that is. I mean, to be fair, Charm is a card that should not exist. So, like, let's be honest with ourselves. Charm is a very very broken card. Um, Houses is crying right now. I think Houses will be fine. He knew that Shin was going to be bad anyways,
Yeah, I
so
mean, this
I
man was
think
playing Orn. Like he's used to
yeah,
playing Butthole. Like
yeah, exactly. I think if anything, if I was in that position, I was like, I just want the Shin best of. I'd be like, oh yeah, make my guy as unplayable as possible. Make him guarantee. I'll be one of like five people showing up to the events looking for a Shin best of and call it a day.
yes, it does cost more than Defiant Dance, but it has flow. Imagine if
Yes,
Defiant Dance had flow, that would be broken.
that would be broken. Let me see if I can find the cat
Riot
somewhere.
hates green yellow. Yes, we will never have a playable green yellow.
Yes,
It
I
will
don't
never happen.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like their internal tester, the best player is the green yellow tester, and he's just like
We got a
beating
Zir.
everyone. Yeah, I guess Azir is good. That's true.
Like
Is
something.
trying to find a picture of the cat. Where is the cat? Okay, well, searching hashtag does not work. So
Are you the one drop cat?
no, the two drop, the meddling mage cat.
Right. What you were talking about
Yeah,
earlier. You guys not in Piltover yet?
no, for some reason I did not see it
Oh,
in Piltover, unless it just wasn't in
oh, maybe it's not. Yeah, I don't
the
see
new
it
cards.
in the feed. Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah, maybe somebody in chat can link it. Wait, yes, Shin's the charm. We thought it would be the ultimate too. I thought it was going to be like move a friendly unit to a battlefield that already has a unit because it would work pretty well, and then like prevent the next X damage that would be dealt to it, right? So basically, the key barrier that got printed, but also move something. Um, why'd you run this card over charm? I mean, the fact that you get to use it twice is kind of good for a deck that otherwise has no draw power, right? Like we're
Yes.
we're very much so lacking in draw power for this. So the float cost is actually kind of nice. Like there are definitely times where like I'm sitting there with a charm in hand and I'm like, if I could just hit two things, it'd be nice. Granted, it costs 7 energy to do that, but um, yeah, his unit is kind of his ult already. Yeah, I mean that's true. Um,
Yeah, double charm is cool. Like if you're in the later turns and you have enough to just like double charm something, like if you're playing in very low resources, like because Colin said you don't draw cards, like ripping one of these off the top and being able to remove two guys off the board can be a big deal.
yeah. Oh, his ultimate's already a card standing United, you're right. I forgot about that. So maybe that's why they like wrote themselves into a corner because Stand United's already a card. Stand Untied. Yeah, this is his actual ultimate, so um
Yeah.
which I don't know why, because it just has nothing to do with Shin's ultimate, but you know, maybe
It
that's
doesn't
why
have
they're
anything
like,
to do with buffs.
well, now it has to be his charm because they made I think Q barriers is W or something like that. So it could only be his Q, which is like it drags a sword to him. So I don't even know how that would work in League lore or in from League lore to Riftbound and then his charm, I guess. So yeah. Um should have stunned the enemy unit. Yeah, I don't think that part was necessary. It's more so because they're trying to abuse it with the tank ability. So um yeah, but you're right. And it's just competing with one of the best cards in green or potentially ever printed. So like charm is just very, very broken. So yeah. Rest in peace to all the Shin homies out there.
Yep.
AoE Shin, yeah, that's what. That's what this one is for the whole +1 that we get. Oh yeah, that empowers his auto attack. So again, I don't really know how to translate that into League lore, but thoughts on Shin using Forgotten Signposts. Is that thing action? I don't think it will really do anything. I don't even think I think this card's supposed to be like an Akali card, but even in Akali, I don't think this really does anything. Yeah, just like swaps 2 units, right? But the unit also has to be ready. Oh, it doesn't swap it, it just moves it. Yeah, I don't think it quite
Yeah.
does anything. A lot of these 2 cost gears are they're just too low impact to ever really afford to play. Do you think the combo of Shady Spectacles or Ferris Foreigners has any legs? I mean, the Spectacles card reads interesting. I think it's really going to run into the same issue that pretty much everything has, where there's some decks that just have so much gear hate that's really difficult to build your deck around it. And this is like the type of card that you just have to build your deck around, right? To do something degenerate, or you're shady spectacling your token into a Baron, like your tentacle token into a Baron or something like that. And then, yeah, if they don't have an answer, then they lose. But if they do have an answer to the gear, then, your deck kind of doesn't
Yeah,
really
you
do
did
anything.
nothing. Like, yeah. Spent
Yeah.
4 energy to do this, plus an energy and a power.
Mhm. But it is cool that like the way that it works is they work well with each other too. Where even if they kill like the original thing, so long as this is a copy, then your second spectacles and the tokens will get to work too. So it's something that I'm sure I'll test and try to do some. There are some shenanigans combos that we could do where we could like play an Otacon and then we heedless our Otacon into a Baron with some Shady Spectacles on some tokens from like the tentacles to now we have 2 Barons or we have 3 Barons of multiple Shady Spectacles because you get to see your entire deck with Kennen. But a lot of it sounds magical Christmas landy to me. So, um, and then at the same time, if they just like have gear hate for this, then it's like, oh, my deck doesn't do anything. Do you think Jace Aurora is the best way to play it? With the cards that are currently spoiled, I think Jace Aurora is the only way to play it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a Jace gear mid rangey pile you can make, but it's just very extremely fair, and
Yeah.
it's also just extremely susceptible to gear hate. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Looks
you can do Jace stuff. It just doesn't really. It seems very fair right now. Maybe his
looks
six spell will change that. Maybe like a mid range Jace will also be playable. Like if the six spell facilitates that, or the sig gear or whatever it ends up being.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, right now I would imagine the best way to. Unfortunately, like most orange decks, the best way to play it is an Aurora deck. So
Yes. So, I mean, we just haven't seen enough cards out of it. I mean, I know this is a smaller set, but if there's 168 6 cards, so there should be like 25 cards for each color. Is that right? 30 times 6 would be 180, so yeah, 27 and we've seen 3 6 like maybe was this we've seen like half the set at this point, so we still have a ways to go
yeah,
um in terms of what's been spoiled. So, yeah, but a lot of the cards that we've seen so far, I don't think there's been like is this our Jace support? We get to Sky
right.
Cruiser.
3 might
3 might
with
for 4 and a
power.
power. Yeah,
Yeah,
to only deals
discard
damage
a
to units at
gear,
battlefields, by the way.
cap it, pay.
Or 60% through spoilers, yeah. So it seems like the Jace side of things has been low on the amount of stuff that's been spoiled. Like obviously the
Yeah. We
Porobot,
haven't seen a lot of Jace.
but yeah, it's whatever they're intending for this deck is something I can't really speculate on yet. I will say that the current version of like Jace Aurora is probably fine. But if you're trying to do any of this other stuff until we get whatever the support is supposed to be for him, like it does not work. So there's only been one unit gear announced in the entire set. Yeah. So far, it's just our lonely Porobot here.
Yep.
Um, There's a whole unit gear section in the article, and there's like 2 unit gears spoiled so far. The only one that's been posted is this one, so. But yeah.
Yeah, guys, we did talk about the Shensig. We did see it.
Yes. Yeah, I can scroll back in the VOD for that one. I don't know if there's anything else worth talking about. I did want to talk about the cat, but I don't know why it's not on Built Over Archive, and I don't know how to find it, so. Because I don't know what the card's called.
Oh,
If
yeah,
I
I think
search.
I saw it like on Twitter somewhere today.
Yeah, Meddling
Wherever.
Rage, Riftbound. If I search that, it'll pop up. No.
Okay, I got it. I got it. Hold on. There you go.
Okay, I gotta do my hidden jutsu again.
He's hiding a card, chat.
Hiding a card, hiding my Anton.
True. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Anton.
Oh, it says English mock up. Do we even know if this is real or if this is some sort of fake card? Maybe that's why it hasn't actually
Is it
been.
a fake card?
Maybe I saw people talking about this. So it says image mock up on the bottom here. So
Yeah, I do see that.
yeah, this might just be a fake card. Hard to say.
Yeah, I'm guessing. I guess if it hasn't been, maybe
It
this is
was
an
C.
unofficial
Oh, it was
one. I don't
CN.
know.
Okay, apparently it was a CN
Oh, okay,
spoiler.
it's a CN. I see. I see.
Yeah, the cat. Yes, I agree with you, Mogwai. I think this card is unplayable. Assuming that it's real, anyways. It's real because the announcement was in Chinese. Okay, cool. So maybe that's why they haven't put it on Piltover Archive yet, is because it's in
Yeah,
an
yeah. They
English
they
version.
always are slower with the Chinese cards. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think Ivern maybe plays it like you said, because but like 2 in the power just means that you aren't playing this early. You have to play this late, and then you also have to protect this card in some way, shape, or form. So it has to get like tank in order to just counter one specific spell. So like I know someone was saying like, oh, at a LeBlanc, like Starcross is the only card you care about, which is true, but you also have to find a way to get this to a battlefield in order to start doing your stuff. Which means that you have to have played it like a turn before, probably, or you have to get into the other battlefield somehow and then also still have enough energy to do whatever else you were trying to do this turn in order to play around Starcross. Plus, this is an ETB trigger, so if Starcross is the specific card that you're trying to counter, then they're just like, oh, in response to the ETB, I'll just Starcross your thing. And it's like, oh, well, now what do I name?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this card is not good. Played only against Mel and Namer Sig spell, but like yeah, again, like none of these things do anything. I think Meddling Mage is one of those cards too that people thought would be like Ian version would be in the card gallery at 5 p.m. Dope. Okay, so we got like an hour for all this stuff to be updated. Thank you, Diana.
Cool.
Um so yeah, I think this card is just not going to really see the play that people think it might. Um, I think it is somewhat cool that you can like send it into a battlefield with it named onto something, and then like if that's the only card, like into like punch first decks for for or is like the only thing I can think about, and you can like guarantee you win a combat through a punch first deck because you just play it in your base, name punch first, and then now that's a card that you don't have to worry about because it just goes in. Um, but yeah, it becomes format on the bush. Yeah, I mean, again, Ivern Tech is about really all that people have been talking about. But for those who forgot, Ivern is down here in Garen tier for me. So I think
Yeah.
maybe we'll it won't move the needle. We're not going to see this S tier Ivern happen
Yeah.
because of this
S
guy.
tier Iron would be crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
because
not
that's
expecting that.
these just like these low cost power units are just like when am I supposed to play this? Because I can't play it on turn one. Or I probably just lose the game. And if I play it later, then it's just so low impact that like, what's the point? Add 2 new legends to the tier list. Yeah, we'll end up. It's getting kind of late for the stream, anyways. So we'll do an actual proper tier list later. Um, maybe that's something we can do for our Wednesday pod or something like that. Or we'll do another video as well later. I know people love the proper tier list. So, um, Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty much winding up this stream, so we could do like 10 more minutes of Q&A or something if you guys have
Yeah.
any more questions, things you want to talk about.
Yeah, that sounds good. Do a few more questions and then call it for us.
My friend isn't S tier with the cat. No.
Yeah. I'm gonna play Kennen deck, but I don't have any seals. Any tips? I mean, there are a few different variations of Kennen that currently exist. I know you could play like a more controlling Kennen that probably wouldn't even use seals. Um, but yeah, I think seals will go down in time. So if the price point is what's really hurting you, then just give it a little bit. People are buying into the hype, and then you can always just buy some seals on TCG Player afterwards. Who has the best hair on Challenger team? Probably Anton, I think.
My hair's
Right?
pretty nice, but I think Daniel has a crazy hairline too. Daniel's hair is
Yeah,
very nice.
yeah,
He just
exactly.
kind of he's all like scraggly, but like if you actually look at his hair, it's like very thick and good
Yeah,
hairline.
Alex as well does actually have a really good head of hair. As much as he's lacking in other departments, he's got a nice head of hair. That's so maybe Alex that is the call. I don't know. As much as I don't want to compliment him on that. What cards are you excited about for set and Vendetta? Honestly, I don't know if there's been any cards for set that I've actually seen out of this set so far. I mean, there is Rampage is like a new challenge, which is like a maybe a slight upgrade because it the odd energy doesn't matter as much and not costing a power. It's kind of nice. Um, Outside of that, I mean, Gangplank is like potentially a sideboard card that you could play out of set. Since the only way that you can typically kill Gangplank once he's empowered is with like damage spells, but set can prevent the damage spells from it, and then the empower just makes it so that he can't be bounced. So the only issue with this is that you have to play him while they don't have the 3 energy up to Starcrossed you. So yeah, that part
Yeah, how often
is
is Gangplank actually just better than bringing in Camel too?
yeah, exactly. I don't really know on that one. So because they're just not going to choose it, so it just ends up being a 6 or 6 camel that costs you 2 power instead of a 6 or 5 camel. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know that the extra money is going to be worth the 2 power. So on Orange Ambessa, uh, what is does Orange Ambessa get ganking at all? What's her? Can't be dealt damage unless I'm in combat. Probably not. I don't think it's solving any of the issues that set runs into right now. Key barrier looks good for set. Yeah, maybe. There's some matchups where key barrier could be okay. What food do I eat on tournament days? Usually, basically nothing. I just have whatever breakfast or like a protein shake, and then I don't eat anything the entire day. Um, what version of Kennen
yeah,
is looking
the
to
same.
be the best? Yeah, no idea. I didn't really like Rossum's control Kennen list, so I don't think that's controlling. It'll probably have to be Miracle of some sort. I don't think Hook is real. We will test, and for those of you who are in our Discord, then we will have updated lists as we start testing over the course of this next week
Yeah,
for
just so you
people.
guys know that that is definitely happening this week. So if you are looking to be on top of the format and just like see exactly what Challenger is testing, like we're going to be doing scrims all week long in our Discord, probably for the next few weeks, honestly, leading up to Barcelona. So yeah, if you're, we don't have all the spoilers yet, but we're already brewing and we're probably going to start scrimming either today, tomorrow, and be doing it going forward quite often. So
Yeah.
join our
Well,
metafy.gg/challenger
yep.
CG.
Exactly. We definitely be doing a lot more stuff in there too when it comes to individual testing and stuff. So but yeah, for set stuff, I think that's really about it. There clearly was not intended to have set support, and it makes sense with Mbessa being. I kind of mentioned this already. Mbessa seems to be kind of the opposite, where with as opposed to set, where it's supposed to be kind of hit and run, or disempowering or and readying units. Set is very much so a hold deck, so it would make sense with them wanting to support Mbessa that set would not really get much support this set. So unfortunately, I think if I would assume that the way that they're doing legends is they won't do another yellow orange legend in set 5. So honestly, set might not be changing for a while, and it's just going to be the same deck, unfortunately. Um, Mid range Jace with Stupefy, orange purple, so you can star cost him. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think someone was talking about like orange purple where you star-crossed him and then you don't have to bounce something and you give him +3, which is kind of cute. But yeah, and still, I don't think it'll be that great. Maybe if you're looking for an alternative to the camel for some reason, then you can consider Gangplank. But yeah, this effect just ends up being reading that he's not targetable by the majority of things, so you might as well just play the thing that's literally untargetable with just one less might, but doesn't cost you 2 power. What are some of the resources, best resources for someone trying to get into Riftbound? Definitely our Discord, as Anton already shouted out, as well as our channel. We're trying to do more informational content for people, but I think that we're the best in the biz for a reason. So
Yeah, speaking of which, guys, our Challenger tier is still on sale for this month right now. So we did reduce back to the original price, and we have way more content in there than ever, and more coming every single week. So if you're interested in actually like competing at the highest levels, this month is the month to get in while we're doing this reduced cost.
yeah, will you guys be playing set one champs now? No, I would assume that outside of maybe at the local level just for fun, there's no reason for us to play set one champs. So both Anton and I are currently homeless and looking for our next deck to
Yeah,
play. But
I don't know who my new boo is.
yeah, without the bear, you got I know the buff Nasus is calling your name.
Yeah, I like Buff Nasus. I just don't like his card pool, but maybe that'll change. We still have more spoilers, so we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. So, um, if you guys talk about Temporal Breach, the blue blink card, I don't believe so. I don't know that there's anything too interesting going on with it. Like we've already seen Portal Rescue as a card that hasn't really seen any play, and this does cost one less, or I guess technically for free, ever playing it from hidden, which is kind of nice. So for some of the
Yes.
decks like that are going to be using big units, this can be used kind of as a counter spell against things such as like Rebuke. But again, when it comes to
Or
Starcross, they can
Starcross,
always
yeah.
you have to catch them at a point where they're tapped out so they can actually get to the battlefield and hide this.
Yeah.
Since they can always reaction with Starcross, but um,
True.
yeah, I think that's the definitely the best use for it. Obviously, when you're like playing it on like a Watcher or something like that, it's kind of crazy, as it's just like a completely fogs for a turn, which is definitely a powerful effect. So I'm sure it's something we'll test with, and some combination with Watchers and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, the only thing that I guess the other one the first blink it's played specifically to base, whereas this one plays it there.
yeah,
So like if you did want to like go back to base or dodge, like you have to stay at the battlefield. So it's a
it,
little bit different than the first one, even though it's a little cheaper. It's a
true.
little more restrictive, I guess.
It is a just banish something if you play it on a unit that is currently on a rockfall path, which is very funny. But
Yes.
am I skirmishing this weekend? Yes, I think there are 2 skirmishes I signed up for in my area, so you can check the event page, and I've already signed up for them, so you'll see my name if you are trying to either come battle me here in Tampa or avoid me, as people often did when I was in San Antonio.
I need one more. I don't know how many more skirmish wins do you need to have buys for the rest of the year.
I don't know. I feel like I maybe already have all of my buys, but I don't know
I
how
think I
to
need one
check.
more.
So it's tough to say. So I know that there are 3 events coming up. So if I just win these next 3 skirmishes, then I don't even have to think about it. So
Yep, perfect.
so
Easy.
there's 2 this weekend that I'm going to, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. They're both pretty close to me. For Kennen, do you think there's a way to mix the discard Rasa Nocturne with Karthus Death Knell? They clash too much? I just don't think there's enough Death Knells for you to be doing Karthus Death Knell shenanigans. Like, what are we even trying to do that we would be Karthusing with? There's like the ramp guys and what? Is that it? Oh, how bad are your locals? I mean, it's not about how bad they are. It's just some people want the win, and I've never lost a skirmish. So, do you buys show up on your UVS account, or do you just have to keep track of how many of yourself? I think you just have to keep track of them yourself, as far as I know. So, yeah, I mean, purple brings literally 0 playable death knells. So I don't know what we would be doing with Karthus death knell shenanigans, like Rift Herald, I guess. I could like sack our Rift Herald and put in like a Baron Nashor, I guess, which is kind of cute. Because then it immediately goes to the Baron pit and starts doing stuff, but you don't need Karthus to do any of that. So yeah, I don't see a world in which there's Kennen Death Knell stuff. Glass Mixologist just doesn't work with Nocturne plus Rasa, so.
Does bring back Fizz.
What is my worst matchup on set? Ezreal. If someone wanted to show up to one of these skirmishes, Ezreal is my worst matchup, but I will probably just shove some camels in there and make it not my worst matchup anymore, since
Yeah.
this Ezreal deck seems to be doing well. So
That pretty much, I mean, we're pretty much good on time if you want to call it. I don't know if you wanted to
yeah,
answer any more questions.
I think we've gotten through most of the questions I've seen here. We will be back on Wednesday for our
Yep, for
podcasts as well.
podcast, we'll have Squirtle on.
Yes, two-time RQ winner and top decker of Charm, Squirtle. Um, yes, the true goat. So I'm sure we'll have a couple more days of spoilers. At that point, I think most of the set should be spoiled by then. So we'll do a lot more talking about set 4 then with him, get his take on it, and kind of go from there. So
Yep.
appreciate everybody for coming out. Make sure to subscribe and follow us so that you don't miss another stream. Join the
Yep.
MoFi for those who want to see our testing in set 4, and then till